these chairs?
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. So, Sonny, we're so happy you could be here today with us. I want to talk about so many things with you. The good folks at 88.5 suggested we might want to have you down, and as soon as we saw some of these videos and heard your music, we were like, yeah, definitely, let's bring Sonny in. So, the first thing I want to ask you about is where you're from.
I'm from Nashville originally, but I moved here to Los Angeles when I was like 13. With my mom and stepdad.
So your mom and stepdad. Where'd you go to school?
Hamilton.
Hamilton High?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, a lot of people are going to go, yeah, Hamilton. Yeah. So were you in a band then, or when did you start playing music? When did you start playing music?
I started playing guitar when I was 7, and then I auditioned for Hamilton, and then I was kind of playing there.
Hamilton High, not the
Hamilton
play.
High,
right.
Yeah. I wish I could be in the play.
Well, maybe next week.
But then I started a band at that school with my friend who played bass there. And that's when we started playing different clubs around LA.
What were some of the clubs you were playing?
The Smell.
Smell?
And actually, that was the only club. The
okay.
Smell.
Where's that?
It's downtown, and it's like an all-ages venue, so a lot of like underage bands play there. Because it's not a bar, so it's just like it's a good venue if you're in high school and you're not allowed to go to clubs.
Sounds workable. Yeah, sounds workable. And so when you got together with this band, were you focused on singing at that point? Were you like, okay, this is my band and I'm going to be the lead singer?
No, I didn't want to sing, and I still don't want to sing. But we couldn't get a singer. We actually couldn't even really get a drummer.
Couldn't get a drummer, couldn't get a singer.
Yeah, so I had to sing, and then we didn't have a drummer, and we just sounded terrible, really. And I have more lisp, like a really more extreme, so it was like weird, you know. But I think people like that.
But do we have any recordings
yeah.
of that band? That would be fun to listen to. So you didn't want to sing, but you're out front and you become the singer of that band, and obviously, like your voice starts to develop and you're singing. How about did you do original stuff or did you do covers or what?
We did all original songs except for Draft Dodger, Rag by Phil Oakes, and then we did a Dead Milkman song, we did Punk Rock Girl, and there was like I think there was one other cover that we would play all the time.
And you're singing lead on all these things?
Yeah.
Great. And so the band breaks up, and then...
well, we never officially broke up.
You mean there's a chance we could hear this great band now?
Yeah, we played last year, actually. That was like our first time playing in a long time. But, well, I always say the band stopped because my bass player grew up and like got an education and a job, and I didn't. So... he was just too
Not
busy.
yet. You haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
So you're writing songs then, and
yeah.
So you're writing songs, and you decide, what? I'm going to write songs for me.
Well, I just like writing, and because I was always busking in Venice Beach, and it just felt. I didn't really like playing covers, so I just always had a place to practice everything, and I was always trying to sell CDs on the boardwalk. So then a lot of people did buy the first EP that I made, but then they would be like, well, I already got that from you. So then I was like, well, I need to make another CD to sell. Because if you're just busking and you don't have a CD, you won't make as much, so it's kind of like...
It's like people are like, hey, I really like your music, I bought your first CD, but now I want some more, so you said I gotta go home and write some more stuff?
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
That's it.
That's great. That's great. So, you have a really interesting guitar playing situation. What sort of guitar is this right here?
This is a Guild True American, which was like one of the. They stopped being American, I think, like in the 90s.
A lot of people did.
This one is like an 89 Guild, and I really like guitar.
Right. Do you have any special?
I have another Guild that's a 69 Guild,
Oh,
and it's a jumbo body.
I know what those are. Yeah, those big.
But this one I like the most.
Great. And what about your style? Did you create your own style, or do you copy anybody's style? Because I think I've watched you play, and I think you have a really interesting style of guitar picking and chord playing by yourself.
Well, I started out like I used to take in Nashville. I would take free group guitar lessons with this guy. It was for kids only, but he was a blues player, so he taught us like a lot of blues scales, and we would see him play too, and he played like electric blues. And then he taught us how to play Blackbird. So I think that was like my first time finger picking.
By the Beatles.
Yeah, and then I just thought that was the first time I thought, oh, I sound good if I play like this.
If I do blues guitars and finger pick them.
Just the Blackbird, I guess, because it's like I still couldn't play that many chords, but if I played it in a finger style, it sounded more interesting. So I just kept doing that. But then later, like I would say, like when I was like 13, I started listening to Mississippi John Hurt and Elizabeth Cotton, and just and Chet Atkins. I was obsessed with Chet Atkins, and then I guess I started only liking that kind of style of playing.
Interesting. That's a pretty wide variety of music that you're listening to and learning their styles.
It's like country blues. Yeah.
Country blues, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, may say, oh, Sonny, you sound a little bit like Odetta. You sound a little bit like Joan Armatrading. You're kind of like Tracy Chapman. Where are you at with that?
I would prefer to be like Joan Armatrading, but I like all three of them.
Right. I think to be in anybody to say, hey, you sound like, or you're kind of like, or, wow, you're in that group. I think you're hitting 100 because they're all pretty talented women.
I have tried to be like Joan Armatrading.
You have.
So
Well, that's pretty great. That's great though.
that would be a good.
So, what are you going to do now? Now that we've been in quarantine, and what are you doing with your time?
Just mostly sitting around and being like sad and confused. But now I've decided to change that to like putting out an album.
Well,
Even if I can't play anywhere, I think I might as well just do. I just need something to work on anyway, and I already was almost done before all of this, so I feel like I'll just work and just keep writing and keep trying to record and stuff.
That sounds good. You gonna play some music for us a little later?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Well, thank you for coming to the green room. We really appreciate it. Let's just bounce out. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure. It was really good. All right. We'll see you.
I'll see
Bye.
you. Bye.
So long.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.